have to teach our people how to resolve conflict between that they have between each other. And the reason why we don't know how to resolve the conflict that we have between each other is because of the virus called Christianity. You understand? Christianity is a deadly virus, as deadly as the coronavirus. You understand? And tell me that, we've been attending the Christian church since what the 1800s. We've been going to that Christian church, man. You understand? And out of the centuries upon centuries of ever learning knowledge that we've been getting out of that Christian church, no one has ever taught our people how to resolve a conflict. And then what they want to do is they want to turn around and then point the finger at the brother or sister that tries to resolve a matter in their own way, right? And they try to look at them like, this man or this woman is ungodly, like, like black people, brothers that's in the streets that live a street life. A Christian will point their finger at that brother, because he on that corner, he's selling them drugs. He get into a conflict with another black or Hispanic man. His reaction is to solve it with violence. All right. Well, this is the problem with Christianity. The problem with Christianity is that they don't take your Christian pastor doesn't take accountability for his actions, and he doesn't hold himself accountable for the lives that are at his hand. You understand? They don't hold themselves accountable for the lives that, so many brothers and sisters go up in them they go up in them church doors because they at their lowest point in life, and they go in there and they trying to get some type of healing. And meanwhile, the cat that you going to get the healing from doesn't even respect you as a brother. You understand? The only thing he sees is your money. You know what I mean? But if you was if you was a real priest, if you was a real pastor, or whatever self-proclaimed title that they've given themselves that affiliate them with the Most High, what you would do is you would hold yourself responsible for what's wrong in our communities. You would hold yourself responsible for that brother that's on the corner selling them drugs. You know what I mean? You would look at him and you say, well, dang, why is this brother on this corner selling them drugs? You listen to him, he talk about he's selling the drugs because he's trying to put food in his baby's stomach. You know what I mean? He can't pay his rent. That's why he's selling the drugs. You understand? And instead of your Christian pastor like Creflo Dollar or TD Jakes that live in multi-million-dollar mansions, you know what I mean, and have multi-million-dollar jets and forms of transportation, you know what I mean? They don't take that money, they don't come together and say, you know what? Let's all come together and resolve the poverty crisis that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are suffering from. Let's come together and, give the biblical solution on how to resolve a conflict, so that way the brother in the streets, he ain't out there resolving it, and he's not resorting to violence as a first response to any problem that he gets into, any conflict that he has. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters all the same. You know what I mean? And that's why, you got all that backbiting in the Christian church. Everybody in there gossiping about each other. This one talking behind this one back. You know what I mean? It's a never-ending cycle. You know what I mean? But in SUPK, we've been raised up to be responsible, to be held accountable for the condition of our people. You understand? We hold ourselves accountable. And that way, who wants the life of a brother on his hands? You know what I mean? Who want the life of a brother or a sister, you know what I mean, on their hands that doesn't need to be. You know what I mean? Now you feel the pressure, and that pressure gets applied, and the pressure gonna make you, it's gonna force you to get out there and go do something about it. You know what I mean? So that way you can put an end to it, and you don't have to be, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer thinking about, well, man, if only I gave brothers and sisters the solution. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and we gonna drop that truth on you, whether you hear it or you don't. You know what I mean? But at least at the end of it all, we could say that we at least told you so. You know what I mean? Like we didn't. How we gonna charge you and we didn't even tell you about what you was doing that was wrong in the sight of the Lord? You know what I mean? We didn't tell you how you dying out here in these streets, and the reason why you dying out here is because you out here breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord laid down for us. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I want to get to the scriptures because I know how that's gonna go. So, I'm gonna just get right up in there. All right? You know what I mean? So, like I said, we're gonna keep it with the sword. All right. So right now we're gonna start it off. Let's go to Matthew 18 and start at verse 15. All right. Matthew 18 and 15. Bear with me. Matthew 18. Matthew 18 and 15. All right. All right, let's read it. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, right? So this is Christ talking to the disciples. And what Christ is saying, he's letting them know, if your brother shall trespass against you, right? What does it mean to trespass? A trespass is an offense. So the offense could be anything that might have offended you. Maybe a brother said something wrong to you, but that you felt was wrong in your eyes. That brother might have said something wrong to you. He might have spoke to you a little strong or something like that, and you ain't really appreciate the way that he was rapping with you. Or a sister, you might think a sister is giving you, some type of bad vibe or something like that. You know what I mean? If it's offending you, anything that's offending you, it could be whatever you're feeling. You know what I mean? Just think about it like that. Whatever you feel inside of you, like that a brother or sister that does something that offends you, you know what I mean? This is pertaining to that feeling. All right? This is what Christ is talking about. You know what I mean? Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, right? And this goes for sister as well. I know it says brother shall trespass against you. You know what I mean? But what applies to the man, you know what I mean, applies to the woman in this regard. All right? His fault between thee and him alone. All right? Go and tell him his fault between he and thee alone. You understand? That's what you are required to do. That's how you resolve it in the essence. Now there's 3 phases to judgment. All right? When judging any matter like this one, there's 3 phases to this judgment. That's the first portion of it right there. The first portion of it is that you go and you tell that brother, you say, hey man, Salak, if the brother outrank you, Salak, yes sir, when you said that, I really wasn't feeling when you said that, you know what I'm saying? It offended me when you said that thing that you said to me that you, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find something for y'all, but you know what I mean? That thing that you said to me, it offended me. And I'm going to you And I'm telling you, it's between me and you. This is a private conversation. This ain't all out in front of everybody or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It says alone. That's isolation right there. You know what I mean? This is not inclusive. That's an exclusive conversation that you ought to have between between yourself and whoever was the person that offended you. All right. Now, what else does that mean? That means that. So this is the thing, right? A lot of times, what will happen is, rather than going and telling that brother or that sister what they did that offended you, what we'll do, Salakia, what we'll do is we'll go and we'll tell another brother about it. We'll go and we'll tell another sister about it. You know what I mean? You go and tell another brother, you go and tell another sister. You know what I mean? You know what that's called? That's called gossiping, backbiting. You know what I mean? If you a man and rather than going and telling a brother the problem that you have between you and him, rather than doing that, you go and you tell the next man, or you go and you lay up with a woman and you tell your woman, oh, I didn't like what he did when he did this, or when he said this to me. You know what I'm saying? You go and you do that thing. That's the thing that you do. Because you ain't never been taught properly how to go about that, how to handle that matter, how to handle a matter such as this. But now there's no excuse. You understand? What you are supposed to do is go to that brother, and you know what I mean? You want to go to him alone, you want to go to her alone. All right? So, and 10 times out of 10, Salakia. So I'll make sure something. 10 times out of 10, Salakia. But 10 times out of 10, the demon, it works. You know what I'm saying? The demon is going to leave. Whatever demon that was troubling you, go and you tell that brother or that sister, and you go and you tell them, and Salakia. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad, Ak. You know what I mean? Salakia, Akwa. Woo, woo. You know what I mean? Let's read on. His fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. You know what I mean? That's what if he hears you. So what does it mean when it say if he hear you? If they hear you, that means, oh, Salakia, like I said, oh, Salakia, I didn't mean to say that to you. Oh, I'm Salakia. I apologize that I did that thing to you. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then, you know what I mean? You've gained your brother. All right? You've gained your sister. You gonna tell that sister with whatever little problem you having with her, and she gonna hear what you got to say, and then she say, "Oh, Salakia, Agua, I apologize for that. I really didn't mean to do that." You know what I mean? Now, right there, it ends right there. You understand? That's where it ends. However, if it doesn't, before I go there. Yeah, I'm going to get a precept before I go to the next verse. So we're going to hold Matthew 18, right? We'll hold Matthew 18 and 16. And I want to go to Leviticus. All right? I want to go to Leviticus 19. And hold on. Bear with me 1 second. Leviticus 19. And okay, where we at? 19. Leviticus 19 and 18. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to see where I want to start. All right, so we in 16. What is it, 16? Actually, we'll start at verse 1. Nah, no, we only going to start at verse 1. We ain't got to do that. But we can go to 17. So we'll go to Leviticus 19 and 17, all right? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Now, this is what we talking about. You know what I mean? You are not allowed to hate your brother or your sister in your heart. What is your heart? Your heart is your mind. You understand? That's what you are not allowed to do according to the Lord. This is not good in the sight of the Most High. To harbor hatred for your brother in your heart, that displeases the Lord. Or to harbor hatred for a sister, that displeases the Most High. You understand? Now, what does that sound like? What that sound like is, you've been offended, right? And you've been offended, and now, instead of going to that brother or that sister, you and him or you and her alone, right? Now, you don't say anything. As opposed to doing that, what we read about in Matthew 18 and 15, what you do is you hold your peace. You don't speak on the matter. And you let the hatred build up inside of you. How does it build up inside of you? It starts inside of your head. You start thinking evil thoughts about that brother or that sister. You understand? And you thinking evil thoughts about them, you know what I mean? And you just walking around them and you acting like everything is tawab. You know what I mean? In reality, it's not tawab. You know what I mean? You should not harbor hatred for your brother in your heart. You should not harbor any type of hatred inside of you for another brother or sister. All right? We're going to read why. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Now, I just want to make a point here, right? When it says your neighbor, right, in the scriptures, now you can clearly see that it's talking about your brother. Your neighbor is your brother, according to the flesh. All right, no sweat. And then not only that, this is talking, when you go to the first verse of this chapter, this is Moses being commanded by the Most High to speak to the congregation of Israel. You understand? So this is being specifically spoken to the Israelites. There's no heathens amongst them to receive this message. All right. However, your neighbor is your brother. All right. Your kin, your blood, according to the flesh. All right. No sweat. So it says, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Now, rebuke thy neighbor, meaning what? Meaning thou shalt in any wise correct that brother, correct that sister. All right. That's what you should do. Okay. Let's read on. And not suffer sin upon him. Right? So, like we said, you got to go and you got to talk about it. Because what does it say? Thou shalt not suffer sin upon him? What it mean when it say that is, after so much pent up hatred or hatred that you have harbored inside of you, as it begins to grow, over time, you know what I mean, what you'll notice is you are very close to your breaking point. You know what I mean? And then eventually you might just snap on somebody, which is not a good thing. You know what I mean? That's how brothers and sisters get killed too. You know what I mean? You don't go and you don't say nothing about the problem that you have, and you just let that thing build up. And then before you know it, that person is going to keep offending you. Why are they going to keep offending you? Because they don't even know that they're offending you with what they're doing. And now they keep doing that same thing to you. And then now it's going to build up on you. You understand? And then they'll do other things that you don't like. And now that's going to build up. And then it get to the point where y'all in a full out physical altercation. You know what I mean? That's what it will come to. It resorts to a physical altercation between you and that brother or that sister or what have you. You know what I mean? Why? Because you didn't communicate. You didn't talk. You didn't speak about what was troubling you. And because you didn't do that, because you didn't speak up what's troubling you, now you done stabbed this brother. You know what I mean? You done shot this brother. You done hit him. You know what I mean? You done did bodily harm to this brother or this sister. You done snatched the body wig, you know what I mean, and grabbed the ponytail and got it in. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And then what we are oftentimes we will associate that with being strong. You understand? Like people think it's weak to ask, oh, he trying me, he testing me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He trying me, he testing me or what have you. And you think that person is trying and testing you. You know what I mean? And they not trying, they not testing you. You know what I mean? And you think when you wipe the floor with them, now you've gotten respect. You understand? Now that, and then the people around you, they gonna, oh, yo, yeah, she wild on her. She whooped her tail. You know what I mean? Oh, he folded that cat. You know what I mean? He jacked him all the way up. But this is what they don't understand. By you beating that brother or sister up or stabbing them or shooting up or whatever bodily harm that you do to that brother or sister because you had hatred harbored up in you for them that you never communicated, that does not make you strong. And in fact, what it does make you is weak. You know what I mean? That makes you weak. That's not a show of strength. You know what I mean? That's not how you show that you're strong. By going and shooting a brother or shooting a sister because, you know what I mean, you never talked about a problem that they did. You know what that's called? That's called being passive aggressive. You know what I mean? And that's not respected. You know what I mean? You got a problem, you got an issue with any brother. You got an issue with a man above you or something like that, or something that brother did or said, man. You know what I'm saying? Go and tell him about that thing. You understand? Go and tell him about it. Of course, do it in a respectable fashion. You know what I mean? You not checking a man that's under you. You know what I mean? This isn't a checking. You know what I mean? But go and tell them about that thing. You know what I mean? So that way the brotherhood gonna live on. We gonna heal. You know what I mean? Don't start doing little things and then thinking that you affecting that brother. All right? Like don't start don't come to camp and, you know, come through dressed like, oh, I don't care. I'm gonna come through it. I'm gonna dress jacked up to camp. You know what I mean? I'm a rock, you know, I'm gonna rock something that I know is not UPK approved to camp. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just to spite my camp leader. Or I'm gonna come through there and I'm gonna cuss up a storm on a microphone. You know what I mean? Just to what? Just to spite my camp leader. You know what I mean? That's what he get for doing that thing to me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come to camp and I'm gonna be aggressive at camp. I'm gonna pick on somebody in the crowd. You know what I mean? I'm gonna single them out just because they told me not to do that thing. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, I'm gonna hide when it's time to put in work. When it's time to do this. When it's time to, you know, do that thing, I'm gonna run and hide, and they not gonna find me. And that's being passive aggressive. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna call in for check-in because, you know, he said that thing to me. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna call in for check-in. Ultimately, you not hurting me. You not hurting the man above you. But who you are hurting, you're hurting yourself even more. You're causing yourself to hurt by not trying to heal it, by not trying to heal what's wrong with you. That's what's happening. So don't be passive aggressive at all. You know what I mean? And especially if we in the school, we are not allowed to be passive aggressive. Okay? So let's read on. Thou shalt not avenge. Okay, let me see. Matter of fact, yes, it came on statues. Now we're going to go back to Matthew 18, and then we'll read on from 16. I just wanted to get that real quick before I kept it pushing, all right? But Matthew 18, verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, right? So if he will not hear thee, meaning what? Meaning this brother or this sister feels like, hey, listen, Aquav, I didn't do nothing wrong, man. You tripping, you out your mind. You understand? The Bible says this and that. This is what we are able to do. And it's according to the Bible, it says we are able to do that thing. You know what I mean? And you just not, you like, man, I just can't let this thing go, man. I can't let it go like that. You know what I'm saying? It's really troubling. It's troubling my soul. You know what I mean? And, you know, he's saying that he will not hear thee. Let me read on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Then, hold on. Take with thee two or three witnesses that every word may back and forth, and somebody saying I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and I ain't say this and I ain't say that. You know what I mean? What are we going to do to validate it? Validate the statements that are being said. Two or three witnesses. You understand? And of course, you know what I'm saying? So let me just read on though. All right. And if he shall neglect to hear them, right? So if he shall neglect to hear them, so the witnesses that you call for, the two brothers or whoever, Salaki, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We gonna get it in though. Now you bring the two witnesses, right? And you bring them two witnesses in, the brother, the whoever your 2 to 3 witnesses are that were there to witness what was said or done, and they verifying it, and he says or she says, I don't know what type of time y'all on some sneaky stuff. Y'all put this together. You know what I mean? Y'all tight like that. That's why y'all coming at me like this. You know what I mean? That's the only reason, because y'all brothers is stick together like that. You know what I mean? So of course he gonna stick up for you. That's your man's. You know what I'm saying? Alright, no sweat. You know what I mean? But if so, now this is the case. If he neglect to hear you, right? Don't just jump to don't go 0 to 100. You know what I mean? Accelerate slow and steady. You know what I mean? That's how we gonna get it in. You know what I mean? Right here, obey the speed limit. This is like obeying the speed limit. You don't want to go 0 to 100 or what have you. You know what I mean? Stick to the speed limit and you're going to be just fine. And right here, this is what you have for it right here. All right, so this is the next sign right here. This is what you do. All right. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. Right. Now, if he neglect to hear them 2-3 witnesses, you know what I mean, tell it unto the church. Oh, Salaki, and another thing, you know what I mean, the other 2-3 witnesses, right? The other 2-3 witnesses, like, to bring it to our time, right, where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? That would be like so let's say you went to a brother, you went to a sister, right? Salakia. You went to a brother, you went to a sister, and you know, that brother or sister, they didn't hear you out. You know what I mean? The next step to that would be a minor counsel. You understand? So that'd be a minor counsel between you and the offender and the camp leader. And I believe a general comes in on them counsels as well. You understand? So take that in mind to consideration also. So now you seeing a whole method being employed just to resolve this matter. Not because it's just any matter, but because every matter and any matter, no matter how small, is of importance when it comes to making sure that the brotherhood and sisterhood lives in here. You know what I mean? It's very, very important. All right. So let's read on. And if he shall neglect to hear thee, tell it unto the church. Now, when it say tell it unto the church, now this is it being brought before the whole nation. All right. So now this matter gets brought before the whole nation. You know what I mean? Like I said, today we have something called minor council and we have something called a major council. So in that major council, that's when this issue gets brought to the major council. Okay? So that issue gets brought to the major council. Now, because we went through the first phase, the first phase being you went and told that brother or sister and they didn't hear you. The second, you brought the 2-3 witnesses. You did the minor counsel. The third, right? Now the third, you bringing it before the whole nation. You bringing this to major council. This issue has found its way to major council and is now being brought before the whole nation. All right? Because they didn't want to hear. They didn't want to listen to the verdict in a minor council. You understand? They didn't want to listen to that in a minor council. So the verdict was said, and they were still in disagreement. So it had to be brought to another extent. All right? Let's read on. Tell it unto the church. But if he, Salaki, tell it unto the church, but if he neglect to hear the church, let him, so he neglect to hear the church. So now it get brought before the whole major council. It get brought before the whole nation of brothers. You understand this matter? And still, the brother says to Lakia, yet and still the brother says, you know, nah, I still feel I'm right. You understand? I definitely still feel I'm right. Okay? And I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm right in this situation, and I'm not listening to what nobody is telling me. I know I am right. No matter it went through all the phases of judgment, all right, to determine if he was right or wrong. All right? So let's read on. Let him be unto thee as a heathen man. You know what I mean? And a publican. Right? Let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. You know what I mean? A heathen, like a heathen would be unclean to us. You know what I mean? And a heathen would be somebody that is not our brother. in this regard. You know what I mean? That would be somebody that's not our brother. You know what I mean? And why would we at this point in time, you know what I mean? Why would we then treat him like that? Like he is not a brother? The reason why is because he was never a brother to begin with. You know what I mean? He never wanted to be a part of this. He never wanted to be a part of us. You know what I mean? She never wanted to be a part of us. You know what I mean? Listen to all the counsel. You know what I mean? Everything was done properly and in order. And yet and still, they neglected to accept the fact that they were wrong. And why is that? It's because they were never a brother in the first place. And they were never a sister in the first place. All right? That's the most important thing right there. And now, check this thing out. Check this out here, right? So, think about that. You know what I mean? And then before, don't just leave the truth, man. You know what I mean? If you just leave the truth because you got a problem with a brother or something like that, and you just leave the truth, you also never wanted to be you were never a brother in the first place. You know what I mean? You never wanted to be a part of us in that, you know what I mean? In doing that, you never wanted to be a part of us. By just not going, and it's weak of you to do that. You know what I mean? Before you leave the truth, man, if you really a sincere brother or sister about this truth, before you leave the truth, call and get counsel on what is bothering you. You know what I mean? Don't just leave the truth. You know what I mean? Because if you did, I mean, you can do that. It is what it is. But, you know, if you were sincere about this, you know, don't go about it in that way. You know what I mean? Because you are definitely destroying yourself, man. You know what I mean? Definitely. So, with that being said, matter of fact, I want to pull one that I didn't have on standby. Let me get one more right quick for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're gonna get a couple more, but I just wanted to pull this other one. So bear with me. All right. Let's go to Ephesians 4 and 26. All right. We're gonna go to that. Ephesians 4 and 26. No. Let's go there. And you know, it's right here, man. We gotta learn to abide by this, man. You know, just because you know, you throw on fringes, you put on a garment, you know what I mean, down to the foot. You got your girdle, you got your headpiece on or what have you and stuff like that. If you look like an Israelite, it don't really make you one. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you, the Lord doesn't respect you in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you got the outer appearance of an Israelite. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't what's up. You know, if you really want to be an Israelite, then, you know, what you would do is you would do what the Bible tells you to do. You do what the Most High tells you to do. All right? And the Lord told you to resolve that conflict. All right? So, let's make sure that we stay up on it and we not just, you know, giving lip service. Because oftentimes, you know what I mean, that's what I'm saying, that root and core of it all, you know what I mean, I can't say it enough, the root and core of it all is the Christian church. You know what I mean, that's the reason why we think that all we got to do to, you know, roll with the Most High is sing them a goddamn song or something like that. You know what I mean? When in all reality, the Most High requires action. You understand? He requires obedience. What does he require you to be obedient to? Him and the laws that he gave you. You understand? We can't just roll up in anywhere and just be, you know, moving however we want to move, and then, you know, then talking about yeah, you know what I'm saying, bless God and what have you, in the blood of Jesus Christ, and yeah, I believe in my God and what have you. That's not the move, man. You know what I mean? The Lord don't get down like that. The truth is you're gonna have to do things that you wouldn't normally do. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to stop eating that pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster like before you know what I mean? You don't know no better. You just eating, you putting whatever food in your mouth. It doesn't matter what it is, you'll eat anything. You understand? You don't have a standard to what you'll consume versus what you will not. You know what I mean? There's no standard that you have set. You'll eat anything from a shrimp to a lobster to a crab. You know what I mean? There's no restriction. You know what I mean? You just you just do whatever you want to do. There's no restriction to the woman that you're gonna lay down with. You know what I mean? You sleep with all races. You know what I mean? That's how you feel. You sleep with all races. You sleep with all different type of heathen women. You know what I mean? You eat whatever food you want to eat. You live life according to some, fictitious law system that you have in your mind. You know what I mean? When of course, if we all go based off of what we think is right, you're gonna have chaos because nobody's what you think is right, what I think is right is never gonna align 100%. Because we two different people, we got two different experiences. You know what I mean? We think differently. So you gonna do things that you think is right, and I'm gonna do things that I think is right, and you gonna do things that I think is wrong, that you think are right, vice versa. You understand? So we need that. We need that structure. We need that law. We need that moral compass to guide us in what we doing. You know what I mean? Or else, as a people, like, don't just think selfishly. If you think it selfishly, yeah, you good selfishly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But that ain't brotherhood. To have brotherhood or to be a brother is to be selfless. You understand? Being selfish is not brotherhood. That's unbrotherly. But to be selfless is. You know what I mean? But let me get this Ephesians real quick for y'all, all right? So Ephesians 4:26. Let me get that real quick. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. You know what I mean? Be angry and sin not. Don't be angry and then go out there and, do something horrible because you are upset. You know what I mean? You a woman, you mad at your man or what have you because he was out all night with the brothers. You know what I mean? And you suspect him of cheating. He came in the house and you thought he smelled like perfume. And you said, oh, surely he was cheating. And then you want to throw hot grits on him in the morning or something like that. You know what I mean? You want to do whatever your grandmother showed you how to destroy your man. You know what I mean? You mad because your man got another woman and you want to go and you want to put him on child support. All right? As a form of revenge, like the sister it ain't even about the money factor. It's the broad, she'll put you on the child support for the simple fact that you got another woman. Oh, you want to get another woman, huh? All right, no sweat. You go ahead and do that. I'm going to stick this child support on you. I'm going to stick it to you like that. You think you getting one up on me, but I'm going to get one up on you for life. You understand? Like, it's horrible. You understand? Be angry and sin not. I mean, you don't want to let your anger cause you to do something irrational. You know what I mean? Don't let your anger cause you to do an irrational thing. You know what I mean? You angry and, man, I'm so goddamn angry. I could kill somebody right now. You know what I mean? I need to smoke this blunt. Because if I don't smoke this blunt, I'm surely going to kill somebody. I done heard that many times from brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't smoke this weed, I'd kill somebody. You understand? Well, be angry and sin not. You know what I mean? First of all, don't be emotional. You know what I mean? being excessively angry is a, it's emotional. You know what I mean? There's a right way to utilize your anger and to channel that anger, and you know what I mean, in a proper fashion. However, this is talking about irrational, excessive anger that is just outright emotional. You know what I mean? If you, brother, you know what I mean, you don't want to be emotional. That's a female character trait. You know what I mean? So, and to put it in a nice way. All right? So, let's read on. Be angry and sin not. Let me see, what was that? Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. You understand? Don't let the sun go down upon your wrath. You know what? That you had a problem with somebody, and you didn't use the strategy that was given to you. You know what I mean? You didn't use that to heal somebody that's hurt. You know what I mean? In Matthew 18 and 15. You know what I mean? You didn't employ any of that. You know what I mean? Before the sun went down. Now, why is it saying this? It's saying this because this is to show you how the importance of brotherhood. This is the importance of healing somebody that is hurt. You know what I mean? Somebody that's been hurt, you got to heal that brother. You got to heal that sister, man. And it should be your top priority. You know what I mean? Don't even go to bed. Did I get that one yet? Where it said if you go to the altar? Oh, I think I skipped. I didn't read over that, huh? But that's what it's that. I'm going to get that next. I'm going to get that next, all right? No sweat. But yeah, you understand? It's pretty, that's your main priority, okay? You know what I mean? Don't let the sun go down upon your anger. If you mad at a brother or a sister, man, make sure you handle that. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to bed on it. Don't wake up angry on it or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Go ahead and talk to him about it. I mean, let me see if I can get that scripture real quick. Drop the R on 40. So lock here. Just want to make sure I got that. All right. Meanwhile, let me just check this too, since I'm at it. All right. Let's go to Matthew 5, and then we start at 23, all right? Oh. Matthew 5 and 23. All right. Matthew chapter 5, verse 23. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 21. Ye have, Matthew 5 and 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time. So y'all, we heard this from the prophets of old that came before us, that left, you know what I mean, our records here. Let's read on. Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. Right? So it says, whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment, right? That's a heavy thing. You think, okay, yeah, that's a righteous act. You know what I mean? It's righteous that somebody killed somebody or murdered somebody. They're going to be in danger of the judgment. What is the judgment? The judgment is the penalty for murdering someone. You understand? All right. So let's read on. Which is death. All right. So let's read on. Boom, boom. So now we heard this thing said before, right? But I say unto you, so this Christ speaking here, all right? But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, you angry with your brother without a cause, you know what I mean? Not speaking on, not speaking on the issue that you have is being angry at your brother without a cause, because like I said before, you angry at this brother, you angry at this sister when they doing something to you that they don't even know that they're doing wrong or that's offending you. You know what I mean? So now let's just hone in on. I want to lock in on this though. You know what I mean? But I say unto you that whosoever is angry, Shalakia, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, or you just being an outright hater, you know what I mean? You just hating on a brother or hating on the sister. You know what I mean? You mad because the sister, you think the sister prettier than you or something like that, or what have you. You know what I mean? Or you think the brother's, he's flyer than you or something like that. You know what I mean? You hating without a cause. You know what I mean? You hating your brother or sister in your heart without a cause. Shall be in danger of the judgment. Now, this is likening hating your brother or sister in your heart without a cause to the same judgment as a murderer. So if you hate your brother or sister in your heart, you know what I mean, without any reason for it, you are the equivalent to the murder. You are equivalent to a murderer. You know what I mean? And you are in danger of that same judgment. You are in danger of being put to death for that. You understand? Salakia. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, which means worthless. Like you say, you worthless, man. You a deadbeat dad, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? You ain't got no job, you know what I mean? Or something like that, man. You trying to belittle a brother or something like that and trying to make them feel like they're worthless. You understand? You calling that brother or that sister worthless. You know what I mean? Shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Salakia, once again, Salakia. Shall be in danger of the hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, right? So you going to bring a gift to the altar, all right? Let's read on. And there rememberest that thy brother have aught against thee. Like you remember, oh snap, this brother or sister, they got, you know what I mean? It's a problem with this brother or sister. You understand? Leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer the gift. You know what I mean? Be reconciled to your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Heal that situation. You know what I mean? You can't, like, you paying your tithes, you know what I'm saying? You giving donations and stuff like that, or what have you, and, doing it's a righteous thing to do that. Pay your tithes and give donations. You know what I mean? But before you get them donations, you know what I'm saying? If you remember that you got a problem with this sister, or if you remember that you got a problem with this brother, oh snap! Let me hold on. Let me put my phone down real quick. Let me hold on before I pay this donation real quick. Let me call this brother or this sister right fast, man. You know what I'm saying? Or let me go see them right. Let me pull up on them or something like that. You know what I mean? Let me go solve that before I come through. Like, I'm doing something righteous. You know what I mean? Because all of that is secondary in comparison to brotherhood and sisterhood, and making sure that it lives and stays in perfect shape. All of that is secondary. Once again, making sure that we we love each other. I hate to say it because it sounds kind of Christian. You know what I mean? They put a real stank on it. But you know what I'm saying? Love is different. You know what I mean? In the Christian church, you could love everybody. You could love everybody and don't have no rules around it. You understand? And there's no perimeters. You know what I mean? You can go past all the boundaries. The pastor could sleep with your wife or what have you. You know what I mean? You could do all manners of evil inside that Christian church. The pastor could steal all your money in the tithes and buy a multi-million-dollar home. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, it's, Negroes out here that can't pay their rent and that's starving on the corners and homeless, sleeping on cold concrete floors in the dead of winter. You understand? You know what I mean? Love is different according to how the Lord laid it down. You know what I mean? Love comes with, love is conditional. And those conditions are subject to the laws. You understand? That's what love is subject to, the laws that come with it. You know what I mean? So this right here, we reading about them. You know what I mean? You reading about how you can't just be feeling some type of way and you ain't doing nothing about that. You know what I mean? You not doing what was instructed for you to do. If you really say you love that brother or you really say you love that sister, and it ain't all no front. You know what I'm saying? So let's and whosoever shall do, let me see. Trying to see where I was at, Salakia. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much it with that one, though. You understand? That's pretty much it with that one. We'll definitely just keep it pushing. You know what I mean? We at the halfway, so I'm going to check up on this thing real quick. Alright? I'm going to check up on that. Alright? No sweat. No sweat, no sweat. Alright. See. Alright, that's solid. We alright on there. Let's see what we looking like on here. Now, let's go to check this real quick. Salakia. I gotta do it. No sweat. Shalom, Isaiah. Shalom. Shemreka Thug. Alright, no sweat. Okay. So now, where would we at? Let's drop that, right? And let's go to Matthew 6 and 14. Alright. Matthew 6 and 14. Where we at? No, matter of fact, Salakia. Let me just double check that. Alright, yeah, we're going to go to Matthew 6 and 14, alright? Matthew chapter 6, verse 14. All right. Now, this is the heavy thing right here, man, because as y'all know, right? This is the if you go to Matthew, if you start at Matthew 6 and 6, right? This is the Lord's Prayer. All right. And every Christian knows the Lord's Prayer. All right. And you know, you can have cats and they walk, they got that Jesus piece, they got that cross hanging on their neck, and you know, they kissing it and all of that. You know what I mean? They out there kissing the Jesus cross or what have you and stuff. And with that being said, you know what I mean? And they say that prayer too. They be counting the beads and saying some other garbage like that, man. You know what I mean? But listen, they say this prayer probably every night. You know what I mean? However, they skip one important thing. All right? And we're going to read it. All right? Actually, I'm going to start at verse 11. Give us this day our daily bread, right? That daily bread is the affliction. You know what I'm saying? Give us this day our daily bread. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The affliction that we go through. All right, let's read on. And lead us not into temptation. Hold up. Did I skip one? Yeah, I did. So lock it. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Right? So listen, man, you holding on to some type of grudge for a whole lifetime, right? You holding on to a grudge for, you know, your whole goddamn lifespan between you and this one cat or this one sister or something like that, right? And you dropping to your knees, you getting on your knees and you pressing your palms like this, you know what I mean? You kissing and all of that, whatever you doing, your little ceremony that you have before the Most High, all right? And it says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. You know what I mean? Now, this is the thing, right? You say that, and everybody asks the Most High for forgiveness. We all ask the Most High to forgive us for this. We ask the Most High to forgive us for that. You know what I mean? Please, Lord, forgive me for, selling this crack, Lord. Forgive me for robbing this brother, Lord. I must do it. I'm very hurt, and, I'm distressed. Lord, please forgive me. Please help me as I rob this man. You know what I mean? Listen, you saying all type of stupidity, and you asking the Lord to forgive you, but you don't forgive nobody else. You know what I mean? That's why they saying they had that whole expression about no new friends. You know what I'm saying? If somebody violates you one time, you cutting them off. You got that thing with everybody. I'm cutting people off. I'm cutting you off. I'm not talking to y'all no more. You know what I mean? I cut him off and I cut her off, and we just cutting everybody off. Why are they cutting them off? Because they did something that they deemed was unforgivable. They did an unforgivable act to him or her. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, all these people you cutting off, right? Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay blessed. You understand? I love God. God is my Lord and Savior. You know what I mean? Listen, you offended the Most High. You offend the Most High when you abort that baby. You know what I'm saying? You offend the Most High when you put a black man on child support. You know what I mean? You offend the Most High when you lie. You offend the Most High when you steal, when you murder. You know what I mean? You offend the Most High when you gossip. You know what I mean? Yet and still, the Lord forgives us. You know what I mean? And not only do the Lord forgive us, but when he forgive us, it ain't like he hold on to that thing that you did. You know what I mean? Imagine if the Lord just said, you know what? This brother keep eating that pork, crab, shrimp, lobster stuff, man. I'm cutting him off. You know what I'm saying? This sister keep aborting her babies. Like, God dang. She got a coffin down there. You know what I mean? Got a whole dang tomb down there. I'm cutting this sister off, man. I got to cut her off. I don't want to talk to them no more. We ain't speaking no more. I'm cutting off. Now, how does that sound? Would you want the Most High to cut you off? You know what I mean? When you praying to the Lord and you crying to the Most High and you praying so much, you know what I mean? Would you want the Lord to cut you off because you didn't obey Him when He told you to? You did something in opposition to His morals. You know what I mean? We be fighting about something so simple and stupid. You know what I mean? It's something so simple and so stupid as to why you sitting there fighting and fussing with each other, man. And why you cutting this one off. And why you cutting that one off. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times, it be for something that you done did to somebody else yourself. You know what I mean? You might got a brother, he lying to you or something like that. And then you like, oh man, well, you go out there and you tell your homegirls about him and stuff like that, and you're gonna tell a lie to somebody that same day. You're going to lie to someone that same day that you telling them your homegirls about him and how you cutting them off or what have you, and you telling a lie to somebody that same day. You know what I mean? Yet you won't forgive him, but you want the Most High to forgive you. Lord, please forgive me for that lie I told today, Lord. You know I had to tell that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You understand? It says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. You know what I mean? Yo, you want the Most High to forgive you, you know what I mean? Then you got to forgive. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How you think that you deserve mercy and forgiveness from the Most High, yet you don't forgive and have mercy on anybody. You know what I mean? Do you think you deserve mercy and forgiveness when you don't give it to anyone else? You know what I mean? Let's read on, though. Let's read on. All right. Drop down to 14. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Right? So if you forget, like, listen, man, forget that brother or sister for whatever they did to you, man. They might have owed you some money or something like that. Forgive that brother or sister. They told a lie to you. You found out, you discovered that lie. Forgive that brother or sister. You know what I mean? They said something that you didn't like that they said to you. Forgive that brother or sister. You know what I mean? And the Most High will forgive you. But if you don't forgive nobody, right? Don't expect it. I'm jumping ahead of myself and make sure. 15. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. You know what I mean? That's it on this. So, but that's the same thing. That same principle is going to apply to you when it's time for the Most High to give you forgiveness for that unforgivable thing you did. You understand? I'll be very merciful, and very forgiving. You understand? You want the Most High to forgive you and have mercy on you for the unforgiven. Let's go to Luke 7:3. All right. Go to Luke 7:3. Luke chapter 7 and verse 3. All right. 7. Almost there. Hold on. All right. No sweat. See if I want to start at 1. Nope. I'll start right here. Luke chapter 7. Oh, Salakia, chapter 17. Salakia. I knew this something looked suspect. Alright. Chapter 17 and verse 3. Salakia. Alright, let's get it. Take heed to yourselves If thy brother trespass against thee, right? Listen, take this into thought. Take heed to yourselves. Pay attention for your own sake, all right? If thy brother trespass against thee, so if your brother trespass, matter of fact, I might want to start up. Salakia. I want to go to verse 1. Salakia. We're going to go to verse 1. Then said he, Luke 17:1. Then said he unto his disciples, it is impossible that offenses will come. Salakia. It is impossible, but that offenses will come. All right. You're going to get offended in this truth, man. Somebody's going to offend you in here. All right. But woe unto him that whom they do come. Salaki. But woe unto him through whom they come. All right. Let's see. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. All right. Let's read on. Take heed to yourselves. If thy brother shall trespass against thee, rebuke him. Right. So if your brother trespass against you, rebuke him. Right. And this is Christ talking to his disciples. All right. If your brother trespass against thee, rebuke him. And if he repent, meaning what? Meaning he feels sorry for that thing that he did, you know what I mean, to you. And it causes him to change his actions. You know what I'm saying? He say, oh man, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I apologize. All right. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to offend you, brother. All right. Forgive him. You know what I mean? He took it like a man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, you know what I mean? He just took that thing and he apologized and he told you he won't do it to you no more. You know what I'm saying? Let's read on. And he trespass against thee, and if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again to thee, saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him. Now that's the thing. There ain't no cutoff limit, man. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like if he comes to you 7 times in a day, is it 7 times literal? No, the 7 times is saying what? The 7 times is saying, you know, not 1, you know what I mean? Not 2, not 3, you know what I mean? That was good. We getting somewhere. Not 4, but 7. You know what I mean? Meaning more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. If your brother is consistently offending you throughout the day, right? And this is the criteria. If he say, oh, Salakia, man, you know what I mean? I'm tripping out here. You know, I just keep doing this same thing. Salakia, you know what I mean? I'm going to get this thing right. All right? Thou shalt forgive him. You are required to forgive that brother or sister. And you like, man, yo, this cat keep doing that same thing, though, man. He keep saying this. He keep doing this. She keep doing that. Woo. And the apostles said unto the Lord, increase our faith. Right? Why did the apostles say unto the Most High? I said Salaki to the Most High. Why did the apostles say unto Christ? Christians would have had a field day with that one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he called Christ the Most High. You know what I mean? Why did Christ's disciples say unto him, like, shoot, increase our faith? Increase our faith. You know what I mean? He said, the reason why, I'm going to just give it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? The reason why he said increase, they were saying increase our faith, because they thinking just like, you know, Israel thinking right now. They thinking, a Negro out here offended me 7 times in one day. You got to be wilding. 7 times? Oh, man. You know what I mean? That's lively right there. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could take that, Christ. You're going to have to increase my faith, because that's a hard thing you asking right there. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could do it. Let's read on. And the Lord said, if ye had faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye might say unto this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you. Now, listen, I want somebody to break this down. If there's anybody on there, I want somebody to break that down. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something right here. What is he saying right there? What is Christ saying in verse 6? What is he saying when he says, and the Lord said, if ye had faith as the grain of a mustard seed, ye might say unto the sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you. What is Christ saying right there? All right, I want to see if somebody get that. Let's see if somebody get that. Mm-hmm. For time's sake, I'm gonna just give it. You understand? So this is in response to what the disciples had just said to Christ. You understand? The disciples just said this to Christ. They just said what? They said, increase our faith. When Christ told them, he said, listen. He said, if your brother trespass you against 7 times in a day, Shalakia, man. If your brother trespass against you 7 times in a day, right? And he repent and he changed and he feels sorry for what he did. You gotta forgive that brother or sister. I mean, and the disciples' response to that was increase our faith, as if they didn't have this. This is impossible. You know what I mean? You gonna have to increase our faith because that thing you asking is too hard. And Christ then responded to them saying, basically checking them. He checking them brothers, and then what he's saying to them is, and if Shalagi. And the Lord said, if ye had faith as the grain of a mustard seed, ye might say to this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you. Right? Meaning what? Meaning that Christ was saying to the disciples that you don't even have any faith. You think you got faith, but you don't have any faith. You understand? Which that's a cold cut to a priest and a prophet of the Lord, man. You say that to them, you got to think this is their profession. They rolling with Christ. Disciples rolling with Christ through it all. You know what I mean? They sticking with him, and they like Christ turn around and tell them, y'all don't even have no faith. You know what I mean? They thinking this is a joking matter. You understand? It's not funny right here. Y'all don't even have no faith, because if you told that tree to move, and you know what I mean, it would move. All right? But let's read on. And will not rather say unto him, so let's get the whole verse. But which of you having a servant plowing or feeding cattle will say unto him, by and by, when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat? Like, who's going to do that? Which one of y'all, which one of us here is going to have a servant, you know what I mean? And when he come in from feeding the cattle, you know what I mean? Like, we say unto him, have a seat. Go ahead, sit down, get something to eat. You know what I mean? And will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may suck. You know what I mean? Meaning what? Meaning which one of us is not going to tell the servant, even though he's been outside all day or what have you, feeding the cattle, when he comes back from feeding that cattle, which one of us is going to tell him, yeah, go ahead, sit down in my chair, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get some supper, man, get that up in you. You know what I mean? And will not do this. Which one of us wouldn't do this? But when he come in from feeding that cattle, when he comes in, be like, all right, no sweat, most high in Christ, soldier, you know what I'm saying? Now, get this thing ready so I can get my grub on. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this joint rolling so we can get our eat on and thing. You know what I mean? and gird thyself and serve me. You know what I mean? And tell him get ready, because that's what a servant's job is to do. Till I have eaten and drunken. Till he have eaten and drunken, right? And afterward thou shalt eat and drink, right? And afterward thou shalt eat and drink. You know what I mean? This is the tradition, like I said, that we keep in the truth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're gonna have the master gonna eat before the servant. You know what I'm saying? The highest ranking man gonna eat first. You know what I mean? But that's how that thing go. Doeth he not thank that servant because he did the thing that were commanded him? I trow not. You know what I mean? I think not. You know what I mean? He don't thank the servant because he did the thing that was commanded of him. You know what I'm saying? He did that thing. He made, you know what I mean? He fed the thing like he was supposed to. He came through. He made the table ready and got the food right like he was supposed to. That's what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? So likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded of you. So like which are commanded you. So likewise, this is he's liking this that what he just said to them in their situation. You know what I mean? When you done everything that was commanded of you, we are unprofitable servants. All right. So when you do all the things that was commanded of you, say to yourself that we are unprofitable servants. You understand? Because that's what you were supposed to do. Like, we were supposed to get out there. We were supposed to teach on them corners. We were supposed to teach classes. You know what I mean? We supposed to keep the law or what have you. You know what I'm saying? That's all like the bare minimum. You understand? That's the things we were supposed to do that we was commanded to do. All right? We were ordered to do these things. We have done that which was our duty to do. We did that like we unprofitable servants. We just did what we were supposed to do. You understand? That's it. All right? That's it on that. You understand? But let me see. I'm gonna get another one for y'all real quick. You understand? A lot of us take this out of context because of Christians, and a very famous Christian that did an absolute disservice to black people, Martin Luther King Jr. All right, Michael King. You know what I'm saying? Michael King did a complete disservice to black people with the nonviolent movement. You know what I'm saying? Now, in no regard am I telling anybody to go up there and take up arms against, the white man and nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, Martin Luther King took the Bible and he tried to, because he didn't even listen. His whole thing and him just being a Christian and the way he conducted himself and him, fully enveloping the minds of our people with that wickedness, that Christianity garbage, man. With him doing that, now we read this Bible and we look at it through the eyes of a Christian. That's why I wanted somebody to break that down right there in verse 6. You know what I'm saying? Because if you still got the Christianity on you, you're going to think, the reason why I did that is because somebody did that to me. You know what I mean? The brothers that was teaching me that, they did that to me. We was Captain Isupk, you know what I'm saying? It exposes the Christianity right inside of you. You know what I mean? When I was doing my 90 days, of course, not now. You know what I mean? But it exposes the Christianity because you think, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We are going to feed the servant. If he's out there and he's, feeding the cattle and he came home from a hard working day and I was in the house, I'm going to feed the servant first. You know what I mean? That's a hard thing. But in reality, and Christ is in agreement with it, that the master will eat before the servants. You understand? That's how that goes. So, Let's get this scripture real quick. Let's go to Matthew 5 and 39, and we're gonna break it down, man. Because this has become, you know, it's become something right here. Matthew 5 and 39. Let me dial it back a little bit. We were just saying Luke, right? Matthew 5 and 39. Doom. Okay. Salakia. I don't know who that is. Matthew chapter 5, verse 39. But I say unto you. Let me see if I want to start up. Start up a few verses. Here we go. We're going to start at 38. We're going to start at 38. Matthew 5 and 38. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Right? So you hear that. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. What does that mean? What does that translate to? That means if somebody plucks out your eye, then I'm gonna pluck your eye out. You deserve to get your eye plucked out. You understand? If somebody knocks out your tooth, their tooth must be knocked out. If somebody murders your family member, they will be murdered. You understand? An eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. Right? If somebody, let me add one more thing too. If somebody enslaves you, they will be enslaved. You understand? So, you know what I mean? Now, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Now, that's what you're thinking when you read that, right? But I say unto you, so this is Christ speaking, right? That ye resist not evil, right? Ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek. This is it right here. Whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek. Now, what do we think about that? You think about somebody literally, because this, once again, man, this is the result of being a Christian. Everything you read, you taking it literal. You understand? You reading it through the eyes of your oppressor. As we know, our oppressor takes everything very, very literal. You know what I mean? You say, yo, yeah, that's my dog right there, man. Yo, you say, yo, chill, dog. You know what I mean? We ain't doing that over here. Something like that. Dog, why is he calling him a dog? You know what I mean? They don't understand it. You know what I mean? The way that we speaking to each other. You know what I mean? Because they take everything very literal. They take everything for face value. You know what I mean? Like they used to say, our person ain't got no soul, man. You know what I mean? Our people got soul. We got flavor. You know what I mean? So we say things differently. We communicate differently. You understand? And you got to understand that this is a black man's book right here. You understand? So, you know, we definitely want to understand that, lock that in, and you know, not read this through the eyes of the oppressor. Because if you try to read this through the eyes of the oppressor, you're going to think that snakes talk and, you know what I mean, all kind of, you know, think dragons fly in the sky and, you know what I mean, all kind of crazy things. You know what I mean? If you reading the scriptures on a literal basis only. You got to understand the context of what's being said. You know what I mean? But you think, you know, smiting on the right cheek, you think that's bam. You think somebody hit you on the right cheek, boom, right? That's what we thinking. We thinking, so somebody just come up to punch me in my face, right? Turn to him the other also. You thinking, if so, you telling me. See, this is why I don't mess with that Bible stuff, man. It's that stuff right here I don't mess with. You think of it, you think of this, and you think, you know, Christ is saying, let somebody punch you dead in the face, rock your jaw, and then, you know what I'm saying, then you be like, you know what? Hit me right here too. You know what I mean? Give me another one. I'm not gonna hit you back. Hit me again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you think. When that's not what that scripture is talking about. You know what I mean? This is a metaphor, you know what I mean? If somebody hits you, what happens when somebody hits you? How does it feel when somebody hits you, right? It hurts when somebody hits you. You know what I mean? It should. You gonna feel the pain. You know what I mean? It hurt when somebody hits you, and you like, dang. You know what I mean? Listen, you gonna give what it's saying when it say turn to him the other cheek. Also, it's saying give him the opportunity. Give him the opportunity, or her the opportunity to not hurt you again. You understand? Give them another opportunity to not hurt you again. You know what I mean? To not cause pain to you again. You know what I mean? Give them another opportunity. They had this opportunity. You know what I mean? Don't cut them off. Give them another opportunity. You understand? That's what this is talking about. This is another thing about, forgiveness. Because like it's a hard thing to forgive people. You know what I mean? Because you think about something that somebody did, and it's like, dang, man, I don't know if I can forgive this cat, man. Or you still harboring some type of hatred in your heart or what have you. You know what I mean? But you never think about giving somebody another opportunity to not hurt you, not offend you. You know what I mean? So that being said, let's see. Let's go to. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I want to get that real quick. Pull this. Bear with me. I'm going to pull something right fast. Just got to check it out real quick. Alright. Yes, the cuss. Alright. 2, 8. All right, here we go. This one I'm going to read for y'all, right? So we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 28. And let's start at, hold on. I might start at 1. Let's start at verse 2. All right. Ecclesiasticus 28 and verse 2. All right. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee. Just like we was talking about. You know what I mean? Somebody hits you. It's because they hurt. It's that Christ used that metaphor because it's like somebody hurt you. You know what I mean? Somebody hurt you one time. You know what I mean? And now what you want to do is you want to give them the opportunity to not hurt you again. You know what I mean? Sister ain't grow up with her father. You know what I mean? And, she's heard nothing but awful and evil things about her father her whole life. You know what I mean? She finally gets reconnected with that man, her father, in the future when she's older. She's much older. She's an older woman. You know what I mean? Should she hold all that resentment in and, cut him off and be like, he doesn't deserve my love. He doesn't deserve to talk to me. No, sis, you know what you want to do? You want to turn him the other cheek also. You understand? Turn him and give him the opportunity not to hurt you. All right? Give him the opportunity so he doesn't hurt you. All right? But let's read on. Forgive thy neighbor. We know your neighbor is your brother. When I say your brother, I'm talking about your neighbor. Your brother being gotta be of them 12 tribes, Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. All right? This ain't just talking about Joe Schmo up the block or nothing like that. I mean, your neighbor is the same people that is living with you in the projects. Them blacks and Hispanics that living with you in that projects. You know what I mean? Them blacks and Hispanics that's getting pulled over and shot dead in the street by the police. You know what I mean? the blacks and Hispanics whose community is getting flooded with guns and drugs by the CIA, the government. You know what I mean? That's who your brother and sister is. All right? Forgive thy neighbor. Forgive that brother or that sister. All right? The hurt that he have done unto thee, the hurt that they did unto you, however they hurt you, whatever they did that hurt you specifically, all right, you forgive them of that. So shall thy sins also, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. You know what I mean? Like you praying for forgiveness. Like we said, like I was saying, you know what I mean? You say the Lord's Prayer. You say the Lord's Prayer every night or what have you. You know what I mean? You about to go to sleep. You drop to your knees. You say the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us of our debtors. We forgive our debtors. You know what I mean? That's what we down. That's what we saying. But if you still holding resentment, you know what I mean, because your father wasn't in your life. You know what I mean? If you still holding resentment, you know what I mean, for something that somebody said to you or something that somebody did to you, whatever they may have did to you. Somebody supposedly cheated on you, a man cheated on you or something like that. You know what I mean? If you don't forgive him, you know what I mean, the Lord ain't gonna forgive you. All right? And let's read on. One man beareth hatred against his neighbor, and doeth he seek pardon from the Lord? Like how that's what it's saying. Like how are you going to hate somebody and you seeking the Lord to pardon you for what he should hate you for? It's the scriptures say the Lord hateth iniquity and the worker. Paraphrasing. Meaning what? The Lord hates the sin and the sinner. You know what I mean? You think that the Lord just hates the sin and loves the sinner. God hates the sin but loves the sinner. No, it's in the Bible that the Lord hates the sin and the worker of that sin. The sinner. You understand? But you want the Lord to forgive you, right? This is posing a question. He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? Shalakia. We the same in that regard. Like we the same because, you know, the Most High hates us for what we do. The sins that we commit. The things that how we trespass against him. You know what I mean? You don't show no mercy to somebody that trespass against you. You know what I mean? But yet you asking for forgiveness from the Most High. You know what I mean? It's disrespectful. Let's read on. If he that is but flesh, nor hold on, let me see. Let me see on drop down. Nah, I ain't gonna go there just yet. I'm not gonna go there just yet. So, but I will go to verse 6. Let's go to verse 6. All right. Remember thy end, and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death, and abide in the commandments. All right. Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. You know what I mean? Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. That's what we read about in Leviticus, the 19th chapter. You know what I mean? Not hating your brother in your heart. You know what I mean? But in any wise rebuking him. Go ahead and correcting him. All right? Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. You know what I mean? Remember the covenant of the Most High, man. And wink at ignorance, man. So the Lord winks at your ignorance. You know what I mean? But remember the covenant of the Most High. At one time, the Most High cut off the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? Christ came and he died so that way we could come back to the Most High. You know what I mean? The nation of Israel could come back to the Lord because Christ came, perfect brother. Shalakia died, a brother without blemish, without spot, that was perfect in the sight of the Most High, who the Most High approved of. You know what I mean? He died for our nation, so that way we could come back to the Lord. You know what I mean? When at one time we didn't have no communication with the Most High, and He let us fend for ourselves. All right, and wink at ignorance. You understand? Like, remember that. You know what I mean? The Lord cut us off, and yet and still Christ died for us. You know what I mean? Although we was, you know, drug abusers and into witchcraft and, you know, all types of sorcery and, you know, idol worship and, you know what I mean, it's just straight lawless lifestyles. You know what I mean? Who was into all of that. Christ still came and put his life on the line for us. You know what I mean? Christ put his life on the line for us. The Most High, you know what I mean, accepted his sacrifice. And, you know, now we able to come back into this, you know, come back into the fold, man. All right, so let's read on. No sweat. All right. No sweat. Let me see where we at. Oh, abstain from strife. All right, what does it mean to abstain from strife? What is strife? Strife is like a very strong disagreement or argument that is had between a person or, you know, a party of people, two groups of people. You know what I mean? From strife. Abstain from, you know, getting into senseless and, you know, arguments, you know what I mean, like that. All right? You got some people that can't go nowhere without causing, like, a terrible argument, you know what I mean, without leaving the scene distastefully. You know what I mean? And thou shalt diminish thy sins. All right? For a furious man will kindle strife. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, too. You know what I mean? The Lord abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. I was on Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? Abstain from strife, and you're going to diminish your sins, man. We all know of moments where we could turn up. You understand? There's always a moment when you are able to turn up, and you like, I could turn up and turn this all the way to the max. They think he getting loud. I can go much higher, louder, and I'll force it like you ain't never seen before. You know what I mean? I could say something to cut this person. I can cut this person right now. But what's that going to do? They're going to say something back to me. I'm going to say something back to them. You know what's going to happen at that point. It's only so much talking that goes on, if any. You know what I mean? Don't let it be no talking. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do no talking. If there's no immediate danger, then it's just talking. You understand? If there's no immediate danger, it's just talk. Ain't nobody hitting nobody. Ain't nobody stabbing nobody. Ain't nobody pulling no guns out. You know what I mean? All of that is just talking. You know what I mean? Until it gets to that point. Now after that, if it gets to that point, then it is no talk. But the back and forth is, you know, that's senseless. It's no point to do that. You know what I mean? You know, once something pop off, then you get it in. You know what I'm saying? But to go back and forth, you're gonna escalate it. Don't escalate something. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta say nothing. You know, if you feel like you can't de-escalate it, just don't say nothing. You know what I mean? And you'll de-escalate this situation by doing that. You know what I mean? Not saying anything. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be somebody that's a talker You know what I mean? Just be about action. You understand? It's just be about that action. Let everybody else do the talking. You know what I mean? For a furious man will kindle strife. Meaning somebody that got anger issues, that don't know how to control themselves, that doesn't have any discipline, they're going to, they're going to create strife. You know what I mean? Anywhere they go, they got to cause a problem. They got to cause an argument or a scene or something like that. Like it's about to, transpire into a fight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hold on one second. You know what I mean? A furious man, for a furious man will kindle strife. That's a furious man gonna do. And you know why he wanna do that? Only reason why he wanna try to stir something up is because he wanna fight. He wanna get into a fight. And that's how it's gonna happen. And you ain't thinking about the aftermath or you just gonna get into a fight and you just, you gonna rev up the situation when that doesn't have to be the case. You understand? It doesn't have to be the case.